MJ7 NLK here, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're taking a look at the brand new TIDRadio TD-H3 Plus, the follow-up to the original TD-H3 analog multiband transceiver which I reviewed previously. The original radio was incredibly feature-packed for the price, but TIDRadio say that they've upgraded the internal hardware, added new Bluetooth functionality, expanded the storage, and improved the overall firmware. So in this review, we're going to compare them side by side, look at what's changed, what's better, and ultimately whether it's worth upgrading. TIDRadio have some amazing Black Friday deals, and there is a discount code in the video description, so take a look for that. Now, without further ado, let's get on with it. Before we continue, here is a quick message from this video's sponsor, PCBWay. PCBWay are makers of prototype PCBs of all kinds. They also offer services like PCB assembly, CNC machining, 3D printing, sheet metal fabrication, and injection molding. Manufacturing times are exceptionally quick, and delivery is super fast. I have used their services on many occasions, and PCBWay get an NLK-Media thumbs up for quality and service. Check out their website pcbway.com for more information, or follow the link in the video's description. Thank you PCBWay for supporting this channel, and Merry Christmas to Elaine, Luz and the rest of the team. After reviewing the original TD-H3, TIDRadio reached out again and asked if I'd be interested in testing their new TD-H3 Plus, a model they say directly addresses community feedback from the first version. So I now have both radios here on the bench and will be testing them back to back. But first, let's talk about the price. The price varies depending on the bundle you select, but the Plus model is slightly more expensive than the original H3. The original H3 comes in at around £24. The H3 Plus is a whopping £27, so the difference is really negligible between the two. Buy it in a 4-pack and it costs £92, which comes in at £23 per unit. You can't use multiple discount codes on the same order, so if you're taking advantage of the Black Friday deals, you can save up to $12 on the 4-pack, which then comes in at around $108. If you're ordering after Black Friday, use the NLK-Media discount code for 5% off. The H3 Plus remains extremely budget-friendly compared to other multi-band handhelds. As always, if you buy directly from TIDRadio and use the discount code NLK-Media, all one word, you can get some money off your order. So let's have a look and see which version TIDRadio sent me. Okay, they've sent me the ham version. Not that that matters, you can just switch the radio between ham, GMRS and unlocked, which is in my other video. So let's just remove the two user manuals, but nice to see that we get user manuals. That's good. We have two antennas, two of the standard antennas. They've sent me a crystal, which is my favourite colour. I much prefer the crystal to the others. And they've sent a black variant in this 2-pack, which is great. Let me move that to one side. The original. We have in the box two belt clips. We have two charging cables, two plug sockets for charging, and we have two of the wrist straps. So that's great, but for some unknown reason, we have one Bluetooth wireless microphone, which is a bit strange. I don't know why you wouldn't get two in a twin pack, because you'd need one for each radio. But we get one, and these are really good. These are Bluetooth wireless, and they are a PTT speaker microphone unit. So great. I'd rather have one than not have one. So That's what we get. And then there's nothing else in the box. Now, what you don't get in this kit is the desktop charger. And the radio is identical, so it will fit in the desktop charger from the standard H3, which is nice. But these are quite helpful. They can be used as just a desktop stand. You don't have to charge the radio from them, but they do so many different packs. You can get a 4-pack with 4 desktop chargers. You can buy these singularly on the accessories link on the website. So if you wanted to buy a 4-pack with 4 of these desktop stands, you could do so, and then also get 4 of these individually. So it's very, very flexible what you can get on the site. Just pick your bundle because you do get discounts the more units you obviously purchase. Right, I've got the wireless speaker PTT microphone on charge, and we're going to take a look at the 2 radios a little bit more closely. This is the Plus, this is the original. But before that, I wanted to very briefly talk about the plug that came with it, the charging plug. I wouldn't use these. I mean, it feels so light. It feels like there's nothing inside. It does have a CE marker on it, and I've opened this one just because it felt so light there was nothing in it. But there is a little circuit board here, and this does just pull off. There is really not much to it. Might be perfectly okay. I'm not an electrician, so I can't give you any definitive answer on this little plug thing, but I would just use your own. You've probably got one from your mobile phone. Just play safe. I definitely wouldn't use that. So let's take a closer look at these 2 radios. There's not much difference between them. This is the Plus, this is the standard, the original variant. We have a squarer VM button compared to the original, which had a smaller circular button. The up-down arrows are slightly smaller on the Plus than on this one. The Bluetooth buttons are in the same place, although I never had much success with the Bluetooth on the original version. I think it was 4.2, and on the Plus, I think it supports 5.1. And various other bits and pieces. So much improved Bluetooth on the Plus. The sticker at the front is slightly different. Speaker looks the same. Not much else there. On the side, we have the Plus sticker to distinguish between the 2. Everything else looks the same. Same on the back. No change there. Same battery. We have on this side, again, not much of a difference. Same buttons, same layout. And then on the top, exactly the same. So really, there is very, very little difference between them. But what we need to look at is what the differences are inside. Before we do that, let's just do a quick boot up test and see, because the Plus radio is supposed to have a 240 megahertz processor, where the original H3 only had a 30 megahertz processor, so a lot slower. So let's see how all those additional megahertz translate into boot up time. So here we go. It was faster. This was definitely faster, but yeah, this was still pretty quick. I mean, it's not a night and day difference there, but I think it will have more of an impact in sort of Bluetooth operation. Right, next we're going to have a look at the differences between the 2 radios. So on the inside, the Plus supports customizable dual-PTT buttons on the device. This one does not. It supports scan time limit and VFO range limit. This one doesn't. It connects Bluetooth headsets and PTT buttons, etc. and microphones to this unit. This one, it is not supported. You can edit channel names and prompt tones. You can upgrade the firmware on this one on Odmaster Web. It has 8-band frequency receiving, both do, and they both have a 2500 mAh battery capacity. The Bluetooth on this one is 4.2, I just checked, and this one also supports 4.2, but it supports 5.1 plus BR plus EDR, and that's great. So much more improved Bluetooth here. 240 megahertz processor, 30 megahertz processor. This one has 1 megabytes of storage, internal storage, and 128 meg of external storage built in, where the original had 56 kilobytes of internal storage and 1 megabyte of external storage. So massively increased storage capacity on this one. The Plus is able to have editable channel names directly on the device, which is great. New prompt tone options. It has some new theme options, 18 colours and 3 display modes, faster scanning and scan time limits, VFO range limits, and overall cleaner interface, according to the documentation. Now, one other thing I noticed.
Channel mode. Channel mode.
The voice is much better on the Plus.
Channel mode. Frequency mode.
Much, much better. Really like that. Now, the radios do look the same on the screen when you're looking at it, but there are some pretty big improvements in the Plus. Let's go to the menu here.
Menu.
And you'll see that the menu is entirely driven from this tiny little box, and you have to go through your menu number items, squelch, etc. And it's, yeah, I mean, it works and it's fine, and you can quick jump to different menu options, but it's not a pleasure to use. Where on the Plus,
menu,
you now get a proper menu, which is really nice. So we can go into radio settings, and then we could have a look in here. Let's go to timeout timer. And then we can turn that on and off and change our options. Let's just make the timeout timer 90.
Confirm.
Very nice. So big improvement on the navigation and the menus on this system. And this one also supports SMS and other bits and pieces. It's really, it's a nice upgrade. So when you turn them on, they do look pretty much identical. But even having that menu system and the voice on here, it's great having the voice, but it sounds awful on this unit here. It's very digitally awful voice. This one just feels just a little bit more human. So for the £3 we're talking here, having that Bluetooth improvement, having the faster processor, having more internal storage and a better menu layout, it's a no-brainer. Why would you go for the original when the Plus exists at such a little uplift in cost? Now, my favourite feature on the original H3 was what I call the secret squirrel mode, which enables you to put the radio into a frequency scanning mode, and it will pick up nearby radios and tell you what frequency they're operating on, but more importantly, what CTCSS or DCS tone or code it's using. Very, very helpful little feature. And it is present on the H3 Plus. So let me just do a very, very quick demonstration of this for you. If you push and hold the number 1 key, it will switch into frequency scan mode. Let me just take this one away and I will transmit on that radio. Okay, so I was transmitting on this radio on 449, 400, and this radio has picked that up, 449, 400 and change, and it was using code D2048. So it has detected that. Very, very helpful and a very useful little feature. So on the original H3, when you want to switch the allowable modes, you push the PTT button and the star button, keep them both pressed and turn the radio on. And then it will come up with this menu. 1 is ham mode, ham band mode. 2 is GMRS and 3 is unlocked, which is referred to here as normal mode. You simply select 1, 2 or 3 and that will set the radio with its allowable frequencies. Okay, so that's great. Slightly different on the Plus. You push the PTT and the star key as before and turn it on, but you only get a ham mode or a normal mode, which is unlocked, and you can then easily switch between them. So if I put that in ham mode, I can say yes, blue key for yes. That will then set the radio up in ham mode. There we go. So just be wary that when you're switching between ham mode and normal mode, you will lose all your settings. It does reset the radio, so you'll have to bear that in mind. Now, on the side here, this button here, you've got dual PTTs here, but on the side button here, if you push this once, it'll turn the torch on, reasonable torch, and again, it will give you a flashing, and then again off. If you long press this button, it will switch to broadcast radio. Let's do that.
Understand absorption methods, yeah? Make a schnitzel, because everyone likes meat in breadcrumbs that's been fried, okay? Possibly.
So let's switch that off. Luckily, we don't have any music playing. We won't get a copyright strike. Okay, so that's sort of, you know, on the side button, dual PTT, and the sort of short press and long press of that. In order to connect the wireless PTT speaker microphone to the radio, turn it on, long press the power button, and the light will come on. On the radio,
Menu.
you can go into the menu and go down to Bluetooth. Make sure Bluetooth is on, which it is. Then go down to pairing, and then pairable. Okay, now that is going to search for this device. If you might take a few moments to find it. And I'm not sure if this was me, but I did push a few buttons on here and then this appeared, but I don't think you need to. I wasn't pushing and then this has come up. So it's found this device. You just simply say OK. It will connect.
Bluetooth connected.
Different voice on here to here. It's a shame. I prefer this voice than that one. And that's it. It has connected, and this will now operate the transmit. Let's do that. You can see it's transmitting and not transmitting. So that is great. Nice and simple and easy to make that connect, and this does work with this. Okay, so I'm going to do a signal test. This is a Quansheng radio, another sort of cheaper end radio. And I just want to show you the signal from this radio. I'm going from 400 to 1.5 gigahertz on the range here. We're outputting this to a tap analyzer, and then that's going, or a tap attenuator, and then that's going out to a dummy load. So if I key up on 449-400, you can see here, this is our primary signal that we're pushing out, but then we have a second and third harmonic, unwanted signals quite high. So it's pushing out here, but it's causing interference in these two places. That's quite normal for these cheaper sort of Chinese radios, but you can see that. So let's have a look and see how the plus fares in its filtering. The more expensive radios have much better filtering in them, which filter out you know, that unwanted interference in the second and third and fourth harmonic. So this is the H3 Plus. Let's get this booted up. Let's go 449-600. So 449-600, let's have a look. Lovely. So we have the full signal that we're pushing out here, and then at the first harmonic we have a very, very small amount of interference, and I have nothing further up. So that's actually quite nicely filtered on this radio, and I remember that the original H3 did pretty well. So filtering wise, nice little radio. So signal, good. Signal on this one, yeah, not so good. Let's have a look at a power test and see how it fares for power. Okay, so we're going to do a quick power test. This is in low power mode. We're getting about 1.5 watts in low power mode. And then I'll switch it to high power. So we're getting about 4 watts according to my equipment in high power mode, which is perfectly acceptable and what I would expect. So should you upgrade from the original H3 to the H3 Plus? Well, absolutely. Upgrade if you want Bluetooth audio, messaging, faster UI and more storage. If you just need a cheap analog handheld for occasional use, then you might be fine just sticking with the original. But if you don't own one yet, definitely upgrade to the Plus. The menu system alone is just a pleasure to use compared to what was on the original H3. Don't get me wrong, did its job, did what it needed to do, but it's so much better on here. Bluetooth on here, I could get the icon to come on the screen and get the icon to go off, but I really couldn't get anything to connect to it at all previously. Now, as I've shown you, incredibly easy to do, and the new menu system makes that a lot more enjoyable. So go for the Plus. If you've got this and you use it all the time, buy a Plus. It's much better than the original H3. So yes, that's my take on the Plus versus the original. Well, I hope you found the information in this video helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. It really does help the channel out. If you'd like to support further, you could always buy me a coffee. The link's in the description below. And thank you for those who have supported me in the past. Any questions? Drop them in the comments, but please keep it friendly. Until next time, stay safe, stay happy, and catch you in the next one.